support. The Labour Party have millions and they have resources, but what we have is the love of you people with us. They can't buy that no matter how much money they spend. So we request you, we urge you to leave your details and volunteer towards the cause. So come 5th July, we can get rid of the blood-ridden Labour Party from Birmingham. 4th of July, yeah. 4th of July, I'll be alive.
Okay, so after that, hopefully, guys, you will come out on the 4th of July, not the 5th. Because I know on the 5th of July. We've got, we're on the 5th, though. We'll be out, inshallah, all these guys. Ahmed, yakoob, proven to them that he's going to do what he says he's going to do. He's already shown that the mayoral candidacy. So, inshallah, come the 5th, it'll be Event Jody, MP. It will be James Giles, MP. It will be Jody, mcintyre, we should give us all MPs, inshallah, on the 5th. Right? So, okay, so the next speaker I'm going to invite is, of course, James Giles. This man, they basically got their gold standard elite, basically political wizard, genius, to come in and get rid of Liam Byrne, who I have no time for whatsoever. He used to be my MD. So, James, we're all counting on you to get rid of this man. So we're all behind him and we invite to speak.
Come on! What's your name, James?
Well, thank you for that kind introduction. Here in Birmingham, we have in Yardley, Jess Phillips, Labour Friend of Israel. In Ladywood, Shabana Mahmood, failed to vote for a ceasefire. In Hodge Hill, in my constituency, we have Liam Byrne, not only a member of Labour Friends of Israel, but the man has literally taken money from the Foreign Ministry of Israel in donations. Colleagues, we have a Labour Party in Birmingham that has betrayed everybody here. They've betrayed the Muslim community with their stance on Israel, on Palestine. They've betrayed the wider community with that stance, and they've betrayed everyone in Birmingham, bankrupting the council, closing the libraries, closing the youth clubs, cutting bin collections, all while increasing council tax by over 20%. Now, Ahmed Yakoob did something very special here, only a month ago. He stood at his own personal expense and sacrifice to take on the establishment. And he won a massive victory here in Birmingham. In 4 of the seats, he beat Labour in a landslide, and in a 5th came within 4 percentage points of winning. And he has paved the way for everybody that you see here on this stage today. Absolutely. We have the ability, if we unite, if we come together, to make a real difference here in Birmingham, to kick out the rotten Labour Party from this once great city. We can elect MPs who will shine a bright light on Birmingham. They say it's the squeaky wheel that gets the grease. Do you see Shabana Mahmood squeaking about Ladywood? Do you see Jess Phillips squeaking about Yardley? Do you see Tahir Ali squeaking about Hall Green? Liam Byrne squeaking about Hodge Hill? You don't see a word from them.
Labour, no more.
And I'll tell you why. Because they want to keep their plum jobs and seats, and they think that you will simply see the rows and say, yeah, Labour don't want the Tories to get in. Now look, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news here, but Labour are dead set nationally to form the next government. there's no chance of the Conservatives being re-elected. So with that in mind, given nationally they're going to be in government, we have the power locally to make a change and make a difference. We have the ability locally to say to Labour, no more being taken for granted. No more blindly voting for you while you betray us left, right and centre. We have the ability to elect an A team of MPs who will shout for Birmingham, keep a Labour government honest, stop them betraying yet further communities up and down the country. Ahmed started the political revolution here, and we finished that job on July the 4th. Inshallah. And that's me, Ahmed, Jody and Shakeel to shout for Birmingham. And not forgetting, of course, Ayub Khan for Perry Bart as well. We will shout for Birmingham, raise the profile, stand up for the communities here, and kick Labour out of town. Thank you very much.
In Palestine, there's a million kids dying. I'm sorry for those kids. I wish be safe, Palestine. I hope you bomb stuff. Free! Palestine! Free!
Palestine!
Free!
Thanks very much, Sheikh, for that. Okay, and now our next speaker is going to be Lowkey. MashaAllah, he's obviously the chief guest, if you like, come from out of town. We're his hosts, and he's done such great work for so long for this cause of Palestine. It's a great privilege, an honour to have him here speak for us. He's a close personal friend, in fact, of Jody's. I think 15 years ago, to the day, he did a lecture tour with Norman Finkelstein and Jody across American, what they call colleges or their universities, basically. And the main I think, Jody, you were like, you were still in your teens, 18, 19, after you'd come back from living in Gaza and the West Bank. So they go back, way back together. Everyone knows Lowkey as a big name, one of the cutting edge of Palestine solidarity throughout the world, globally. And Jody is obviously very close friends for him. And so you know people by the company they keep. And so if that, if that isn't like a major endorsement of Jody, then I don't know what is. But let the great man speak for himself.
Lowkey!
I think these microphones here might be. Yeah? I'm sorry, I'm going to have to take them off. Yeah. So, essentially the point that I want to make is this. At the start of the war on terror, the Labour Party, which launched it in this country, had over 27,000 shares in BAE Systems, the largest arms company in this country. Throughout the years of the war on terror, which rained bloodshed on people that we don't only consider ourselves to have an affinity with, we consider ourselves to be kin with those underneath those bombs. During that period of time, the value of BAE Systems shares skyrocketed. That is a small example of the insider trading which essentially defines our political system. No community which viewed the people in Iraq, in Afghanistan, and today in Gaza as their siblings should ever vote for the Labour Party. the route to the defeat of Corbynism was to stab Palestine in the heart. It was to say that those who support the Palestinians are driven by an irrational hatred of human beings due to their religious identity. It was a lie, and it was a psychological operation against every single person in this room. The Labour Party does not represent your community through anything but lying, cheating, smearing, and criminal conspiracy. When you look at what has been done in Gaza today, it is the manifestation of 70,000 tons of bombs brought down on some of the poorest people in this world. The shoe of the most downtrodden child in Gaza has more honor than the Prime Minister of this country, than the Speaker of the House, than the entire content of the Parliament. They tell you that you supporting Palestine says something bad about you. No. Them supporting genocide says everything bad about them. You have representatives currently that lie to you as practice. They are careerists and they are the opportunists. For them, the correct career decision was to bury the children of Gaza and the rest of you with them. They did not know that we and Gaza were seeds. And what we would give root to is the rope that would hang them. This, what we are seeing today, is one example of an uprising which is sweeping the world. It is an uprising that asserts the humanity of the Palestinians in the face of killing on an industrial scale. It asserts the humanity of Iraqis, of Yemenis, of Afghanis, of Pakistanis who have been killed in US drone strikes, in those who have been in prison for supporting Imran Khan in Pakistan. This is a movement that asserts the humanity of the wretched of the earth. This is a movement which says, no, our solidarity is not with those in the skies dropping the bombs. Our solidarity is with those under the bombs. Now let me tell you something about Jody McIntyre. Jody is someone that when he was born, doctors said to his family, he won't speak and he won't walk. What you see in front of you today is someone that speaks 3 languages fluently. What you see in front of you today is someone that has traveled the world, that has driven across the world. But what you also see is someone that in the midst of the conspiracy against Palestinian life, he went and sat in Jabalia. You will know the name Jabalia because you will see it on the news, level today by some of the most sophisticated weaponry known to humanity. Jody sat and learned. He learned how to speak Arabic. He learned how to speak Palestinian, even to the extent that people would mistake him for being from the camp. They thought he was Palestinian too. One time Jody came to me and said, "Do you want to see some footage of me when I was in the West Bank?" I said, "Yeah, of course." What he showed me was in his chair, gas canisters flying all around him, shot by Israeli soldiers. Jody is not someone that saw the suffering of those in Palestine and said, "Well, you know, from here I'm going to do what I can." That's not who Jody is. That's not who he is. That's not his character. He said, "I will go there and I will be with them." They say, "We're going on a demonstration against the building of settlements and the building of the apartheid wall." What did Jody say? He said, "I'm coming with you." What else did I see in that footage? I saw Jody McIntyre held aloft in the way that he will be on July 4th by those attending the demonstration. And they chanted, "Jody, Jody, 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 Jody." In a place that the government that administers his passport is complicit in the killing of. In a place where people would have every reason to say, "Hada wahid Inglesi ma nathaq bihi." We don't trust this English person. We don't trust him. He has a British citizenship. He's coming from a country which has, through the Balfour Declaration and through continued support for what Israel does, has harmed us. Has harmed us. But instead of that, they loved him. And they love him until this day. You ask Jody McIntyre, he is still in contact with people from the West Bank and from Gaza who took him in, who fed him, who clothed him, who housed him, who he lived with under Israeli occupation. That's the type of human being that you are talking about today. There could not be a larger difference between Jody McIntyre and Jess Phillips than is humanly possible. When I say the currency of the Corbyn years was stabbing Palestine in the heart, I do not say that lightly. And there is no other embodiment of that idea than Jess Phillips, the careerist and opportunist herself. Allow me to qualify that statement. So when Joan Ryan of the Labour Friends of Israel, who was caught on camera with a political officer from the Israeli embassy, barely containing her joy when Shai Massoud, who even conspired to bring down a Conservative minister, when he said to Joan Ryan, "We've got £1 million to help you in the campaign against Corbyn," she could barely contain her joy. She could barely contain it. Now when she, in the example of political theatre which defined the crushing of Corbynism, when Joan Ryan resigned and quit from the Labour Party on the basis that she just couldn't handle all of that, anti-Semitism. You know who she was talking about? She was talking about you. Do you understand? She was talking about me. She was talking about him. She was talking about the people that took Jody in and loved him in Palestine. That's who she was talking about. And she said, "Oh, I need to get away from the anti-Semitism." And so what happened? Someone on Twitter writes the words, "Joan Ryan has left the Labour Party. Palestine lives." Yeah. And what does our local narcissist Jess Phillips do at that point? She takes to the news cameras and says, "This is an example of anti-Semitism." The words "Palestine lives" to Jess Phillips are tantamount to anti-Semitism. If you or anyone you know is thinking of voting for Jess Phillips, walk into the bathroom, take a good look in the mirror and slap yourself. And slap yourself. Because frankly, you'd be hurting yourself a lot less than you would be by voting for Jess Phillips. She's somebody who said that as a child she dreamed of being queen of the world. Jess Phillips was asked, would she stab Jeremy Corbyn in the back? Any humane person would recoil at the mentioning of stabbing someone who is essentially at this stage of his life could be a pensioner. Jeremy Corbyn in the back. Anyone would recoil at the suggestion. Do you know how Jess Phillips responded? And how she responded was a clear calculation in a career sense. She said, I wouldn't stab him in the back, I'd stab him in the front. She said that with the look of somebody so self-satisfied, so certain of her own impunity from any type of accountability.
Jess is a terrorist. Jess is a terrorist. Jess is a terrorist. Jess is a terrorist.
Well, what you have to remember also, it wasn't only the rest of us that she smeared for supporting the Palestinians. She even fired her own constituency office manager, Selma Hamid, on the basis that she had tweeted in support of the Palestinians and condemned Israel. She did it at the behest of the Israel lobby. Now this was somebody, let's think about what a parliamentary aide and the office manager of a constituency would do. Selma Hamid worked for Jess Phillips for almost 4 years. Do you know the type of things that she would do to help Jess Phillips? All manner of things to help her, dealing with problems, dealing with issues of personal life, managing complaints from the community. This is not someone that you throw in the trash heap at the mere whim of a foreign embassy. It doesn't work like that. That's not how humans do relations. That's not how people work with each other. But this is something that Jess Phillips was happy to do in order to serve her career. At the very same time when she was touting herself as a potential leader of the Labour Party. Jess Phillips has worked closely with the Israeli embassy. She's also worked on campaigns with the CST and of course has coordinated at different points in her political career with the Board of Deputies. We cannot forget that in the very same year that the Board of Deputies issued a list of 10 pledges that it wanted from future Labour leaders, who included Jess Phillips, it put in its own trustees' report the following phrase, that the Board of Deputies has a close working relationship with the Israeli embassy and strengthened links to the IDF spokesman's department and the Ministry of Strategic Affairs. But the extent to which Jess Phillips has served as an asset of the Israeli embassy goes even further than that. And I have to say, there is greater curiosity required on our part when looking at some of the events that have been held in our midst. The Limud Festival took place in Birmingham, and Jess Phillips used it as an opportunity to attack, slander, and smear Jeremy Corbyn. Do you know who the CEO of Limud is? It's a gentleman by the name of Eli Ovitz. Do you know who he is? He is a former spokesman for the Israeli military. What is an organization led by a spokesman with the Israeli military doing holding festivals in this great city? How is it possible that Jess Phillips is able to portray herself as having nothing to do with Israel. I don't even know what a member of the Labour Friends of Israel is. She knows full well. She knows full well. The sister organisation of Limud UK is Limud FSU, which has a project directly managed by the Israeli government. This is what we are talking about. We are talking about interference in the scope of political possibility in this country. We are talking about the defining of what is and isn't possible through our political system. What is required is an invasion of these seats. And I see none better than Jody to lead that charge. They tell us that resistance is futile. We tell them that resistance is fertile. And we will continue to plant seeds for trees that we may not sit in the shade of. And as the Palestinians of Na'leen and the Palestinians of Gaza, Jabalia, held up Jody McIntyre on their shoulders over a decade ago, I can see it as clear as day. On July 4th, Jody McIntyre will be hoisted on top of the shoulders of Birmingham, Yardley, and West Hillock.
Lowkey, 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 lowkey.
Okay. So now the person who was the subject of all that praise, and the worthy subject of all that praise, the man himself, the man who we could basically go on talking about for hours and hours in terms of what his achievements were. You could spend an hour just giving a whistle-stop tour of what he's done. I know because I've tried to do that, and I failed in an hour. So I'm going to hand over to the great man himself, once he's mic'd up. Inshallah, Jody.
Assalamu alaikum. Who would have thought 14 years ago at the student demonstration dragged me out of the seat of my wheelchair outside Parliament, that today I would be standing to unseat a member of Parliament. In the subsequent interview on the BBC, the reporter suggested that perhaps I was rolling towards the police. But today, the only thing I'm rolling towards is a seat in Parliament. Successive Labour and Conservative governments have utterly let down our communities. Successive Labour and Conservative governments have abandoned our communities. And on July 4th, they're going to pay at the ballot box. Jess Phillips famously said that she would stab Jeremy Corbyn in the front. Ironically, it was under Corbyn that Labour got their best ever results in Birmingham Yardley. So I will say today that for every vote Labour took for the promise of Corbyn, I will take a vote from Labour for the treachery of some. the time for words has well and truly come to an end. Now is the time for action. The political establishment perhaps thought that they could consign us to political apathy or disinterest, but 2024 is a new beginning, a rejuvenation. This time is different. This time is different. How many doors have we knocked on in the last days and weeks, and people are saying, this time is different. You can feel it in the air. You can sense the opportunity. Every street we're going to, people are saying they're voting for our movement. Every street we are going to, people say they are voting for our movement. Labour will lose votes in Birmingham across the board, but most of all, they will lose thousands upon thousands of votes because I'm standing against them. I remember when I had that interview in 2010, I received hundreds of messages from disabled people saying that they'd never seen themselves represented in the media before. And I also received hundreds of abusive messages purely because I have a disability. And today, both patterns are repeated. But if it means that disabled people have a voice in Parliament, if it means that the Palestinians suffering under Israeli bombardment have an advocate in Parliament, and if it means that downtrodden and oppressed people everywhere have a voice in Parliament, then I'm happy to take that abuse on my shoulders. As yet more Israeli massacres today take innocent lives in Gaza, I have come under increasing pressure to talk about Palestine less, to tone down my rhetoric on Gaza. But I promise today that when I'm elected into the Houses of Parliament, I won't be talking about Palestine less, I'll be talking about Palestine more. I'll leave you with this. I want you to imagine waking up on July 5th with myself, with Akhmed, Shakeel, everyone you see on stage, elected as members of Parliament. And I want you to envisage how we would hold Sunak or Sama to account. How we would question them, how we would condemn their inhumane stances, and their despicable actions. But there is a way we can turn this image into a reality. I am happy to put every hour of every day and night into this campaign. But I need you to support me. I promise that if we have 100 volunteers on the streets every evening after work and every weekend, I promise we will take Birmingham Yardley from Labour. And God willing, I can assure you that on July 5th, Jess Phillips won't be stabbing me in the back or the front. On July 5th, Jess Phillips will be looking for a new career, and I'll be elected as the first disabled MP for Birmingham Yardley. Thank you.
Lowkey, Lowkey,
Jody, 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 Jody.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much for attending. Thank you very much for attending, guys. Obviously, I'm after hearing that, I'm fired up as well. Thank you. Okay, so please, everyone, if you can, please sign up as volunteers in your respective constituencies. On your way out, there might be a screen there for a short while. Queue orderly, please. And thanks for attending once again.
Hello. You okay? Oh, boxing. Thank you guys for staying tuned. Thank you guys for staying tuned. Assalamu alaikum, Ahmed, brother. MashaAllah, well done with the campaign, bro. I'll support you, bro. All the way, bro. Thank you, brother. That's Ahmed Yakoob.
You shooting up and you can get one day? You can do yourself.
This is Anwar Afzal. Yes, walaikum salam, bro. Good, bro. MashaAllah. Papi. Yes, Aftab, of course, bro. Aftab, bro. You got the two Birmingham legends here. Aftab and Anwar.
Especially in small details. Yeah. Everybody who's watched my videos today and following me, Jody's the man. Please, please, on July the 4th,
you're live on TikTok.
Vote goes to Jody and for the Palestinian cause.
Shalom. Live on TikTok. Live on TikTok.
Fantastic event today.
I should.
We've got some serious powerhouses in Birmingham.
Yeah. Well done with this. Brilliant. Brilliant. This is Mankal Shuja. Yeah, that's Mankal Shuja. This is Anwar Afzal. Thank you for that. Lowkey. Oh, Papi, what you Big up, PhD, live on TikTok, yeah, good. Lowkey to Willie. Lowkey's gone. Oh, he's gone. There's Lowkey going, guys. Lowkey just left the building, guys. Thank you guys for sharing alive. Guys, this was about anti-Labour campaign. Everybody's not voting Labour no more. Jazakallah, thank you Sheikh Imran Hussain. Thank you guys. Guys, I'll show you the leaflet here. There's a lot going on. So this is what it's about, guys. Jody for Palestine, Yardley. Vote 4th July, guys. So that's what it is, guys. It's vote 4th July, Jody for Yardley, Palestine. So obviously, guys, nobody's voting for Labour anymore here. They're not representing the people. So Jody, vote for Jody, guys. I'm gonna keep the film rolling. If you guys, I want to put this video on upload. If you guys missed it, Lowkey spoke. Lowkey just left 5 minutes ago. Nah, 2 minutes ago. Vote for James Gills. James Gills, guys. Jody, James Gills. Someone's asking why is Palestine main priority? You see what it is. What's happening in Palestine? England is responsible for it. That's the simple answer. We created Israel. We got blood on our hands. This is Shakeel Afsar, is very active. Shakeel Afsar leads the Palestine Birmingham protests, and he's appeared on a lot of television, mainstream news, and he's appeared on P.S. Morgan, I think.
There's no Umar, there's no age, there's no race, there's no caste, there's no creed. It's about humanity. Allah Jalla. Allah Jalla.
So guys, Jody for Yardley. This is Birmingham. Assalamu alaikum. How are you doing, brother? Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. So this is the gentleman there, everybody voting for Joe. Jody for Yardley. So they're gonna abolish Labour. Do not vote for Labour, guys. Labour never gonna vote this year or the year after. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, Jody, brother. Thank you. We support you, bro. We support you. Thank you. Inshallah, you'll win. Jody for Yardley, guys.
See you in the campaign, yeah? Today, work.
Guys, thank you for all your support. Thank you guys for everything. Uncle Jah, we are live on TikTok. Any words to say about today's Workers Britain deserves better, Workers Party.
Vote for George Galloway and the 500 plus.
Yes, yes. What do you think of today's event?
Great. Brilliant. Brilliant. Started out late, but I made it.
Who is it not to vote for in the like Labour?
On the warmongers.
Labour doesn't get a vote.
Sorry?
Labour does not get a vote.
No. Don't vote for the main parties.
Yeah.
Vote for Dragon Slayer, Sir George Gallant Galloway.
Yes, man. Big up George Galloway, man.
Okay.
Big up George Galloway. Yeah, man. And obviously, Jody for Yardley, Birmingham.
And Jody McIntyre.
Yes, yes. Can we see the other leaflet as well? James Gills. Vote for James Gills, guys. That's it. They stand for Palestine, guys. Guys, we need to be educated. We need to be educated.
Free Palestine. Free Gaza.
You see, we just vote for Labour. That's what we always do. Now, it's only when Jeremy Corbyn, pretty much when Jeremy Corbyn was Labour, that was the best time, innit?
Yes.
What happened after that? Can you just explain briefly what happened when Jeremy Corbyn left?
Well, they stabbed him at the front, we just heard. We thought he stabbed him in the back, but now we just found out today they stabbed him in the front.
Jeremy's still speaking out, isn't he?
Sorry?
Jeremy's still speaking out.
He's still speaking out.
But he's not in political
George
campaign.
Galloway is the man. George Galloway for Prime Minister. George Galloway for future King of England.
Yes, yes. Can you also just let us know about the ones who are not educated, the ones who need to know more? They're saying, why do we support Palestine? We're in England. People are saying this in the some in the chat. They're saying, we're in England. Why do we support Palestine? Can you please explain that?
It's all about humanity. It's all about. All about being on the right side of history, like I said.
We don't support genocide.
We're not supporting genocide. And anybody who supports genocide, we don't vote for them.
You know, those who don't support Palestine, they side with Israel. You got to understand that we have armed Israel, and they are creating a genocide.
Yeah, those people should realize.
So you got blood on your hands too. If you support Israel's genocide, you've got blood on your hands.
That's right. So they should realize not to vote.
That's it. You need to support Palestine.
Against this because they've got blood on their hands otherwise. You know, 6 foot and down, you know, Keir Starmer and his cronies will not be able to save you.
Yeah. That's it. Thank you so much. You are great, man. This is Shija, by the way. Do follow his channel. What's your TikTok channel?
Guardian Angel.
Guardian Angel, guys, on TikTok. Do follow him. And we just see the signs one more. So Workers' Party, guys. And the other ones. Vote. So from Birmingham, guys, if you're in Birmingham, Jody for Yardley, Birmingham. And James Gills. Vote for them.
James Giles, not James Whale.
Giles.
Don't vote for James Whale, whatever you do.
That's it. Thank you very much.
Okay, salute.
Okay, guys.
Free Imran Khan as well.
Free. That's it. Free Palestine, guys, and thank you, guys. And and just want to let you guys know, we all love UK, but whenever there's injustice in the world, we have to stand for what's on the right side. Put your prejudices aside, guys. There's children dying, and if you guys had your own kids or your own family members, imagine your house getting bulldozed and destroyed. Try to find that in your heart that wherever there's people are from England supporting Ukraine, where Russia is a bigger power, Israel is a bigger power here. So try to reach into your heart deep in. And if you guys believe in England, we're all equal, we're all races, all one, then you should have love in your heart for the people of Palestine. As simple as that. And there's so many people speaking about Palestine. If you look at Pink Floyd, the lead singer, Roger, I think his name is Roger, the lead singer, he's for Palestine. There's so many. I don't need to explain. Tyson Fury, the boxer, supports Palestine. There's Harry Potter, actors and actresses, there's for Palestine. There's so many. Guys, I can give a whole list of people for Palestine, but you don't see the mainstream media. Okay, guys, we are gonna go offline. Thank you guys very much for staying tuned. God bless you all. We are going off.
Shall I record you with the